fastest lap. That's bullshit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first and second rounds of the SRS MX5 Sprint Series here live at the Red Bull Ring Short Circuit. I am your host and commentator for today's races, SD_RDZ, and it is good. It is wonderful to be back in the commentator's booth once again. Thank you, James Head, for keeping the seat warm for me. It has not been that long since I've been last here. That last time I was here was round 6 of the SRS GT3 Series, last time out at the Mount Panorama Circuit, where we saw S&M Palmer taking a decisive win over T5 Black in that race right there as well. I'm seeing a couple of you guys tuning into the live stream. Well, thank you so much for everyone tuning in early, which is very, very good. Welcome Sharon Palmer to the live stream here. Of course, getting ready for some argy-bargy action here with these MX5 Cup cars, of course. We'll take you through the field real quickly. There is Tice, who is the fastest guy at the moment in this warm-up session in the number 78 MX5. Of course, the Cymax crew taking the team's title once again. Oh, and Tice has put it around, and my God, I think he somehow kept it out of the wall. I don't know how he did that. But good driving saving by Tice as he warps back to the pits. There is the number 7 of James Head, of course, my other commentary duo, my other commentary Palmer in another unfortunate MX5 league, of course. But whoever had more second place finishes, and of course, that went to the number 7 of James Head. So a very close finish to that championship right there. There is SDM Viper as he picks up a 5-tenths penalty for presumably going off the track. He's going to serve that penalty real quickly. I think I'm in standard. I'm going to switch to variable here. But yeah, SDM Viper in that 51 SP Industries sponsored MX5, of course. And I think I saw on the back of there, it is Jeffrey and Hello Mac, the star-studded characters on a few of CJ's primed Nintendo 64 controllers. Of course, very, very happy to display that on the back of his car. There is, behind Tap and in front of Razor, S&M Palmer in the 24. Of course, Sharon's own specialty behind the wheel. And Palmer has made a name for himself in the world of esports as of late, joining the Cymax crew, and he has come to life with that team. Oh, and he looks like he's a little bit squirrely in that 24, but shouldn't be that big of an issue. There is the 69 of Hairraiser as he also picks up a penalty as well. Part of the costume racing by SDM outfit. Of course, the Flying Brits, with the pairing of Doug Barrow and Razor, of course. Gotten to know those guys very, very well on and off the track. Very passionate about what they do as Razor works back to the pits. There is Doug Barrow in the 13. Of course, I like to call him the old chap, but he's still got it in him. He's the old timer, as you see on the back of his plate right there, driving the second of the Costa-sponsored SDM Mazdas. Of course, there is a distinct livery difference between the Costa Racing and the Prime SDM. Old timer themed livery, and then of course the really radical and exotic looking SDM liveries. Don't mean to be biased there, but of course, you know, it is a good team livery nonetheless. There is Tap sitting lovely in 7th place as part of one of the Winding Road Racing by Costa entries, as he makes his way through the corner, as he makes his way to the pits as well. There is Patrolhead in the 44. Looks like he is sporting the Motorsport 101 sponsored entry as well. And he'll be looking to make some good moves here for this race. Got a couple other guys in the pits. There is Walschweiser, the Swiss driver, coming off of a pretty decent campaign in the SRS GT3 Series. Of course, he had his shining moments, but still put up a good effort while he did. And hopefully he can make a bigger bang here in the MX5 Sprint Series, in the SRS, in the Sim Racing Specialist League. There was James Head taken to the AstroTurf. I'm like, oh my goodness me! James Head has become the world's most expensive lawnmower, and all of a sudden he's become the world's most expensive demolition derby man here, and he is taking it to the competition. I guess it's a little funny. He's got the FIA action for road safety on the front end of that car, so definitely not being safe. Thought I'd throw in a little bit of humor there while I could, but of course James will not make it easy. He's trying to run a little bit of space. Someone is around at the first corner. They got it spun around. Who is that? About to go to see who that is. That is the number 5 of what? Hold up, we're gonna throw some banter our way towards James Ed in the chat. Well done, James, you safe madman driving that car. I think James is trying to be like Ken Block with Jim Connor. I'm pretty sure. Oh, what is going on? Jeez, James. Come on, James. You can drift that sucker around. I believe in you. Oh, he's gonna park it off. He's gonna go. Yep. He's gonna do donuts. It's where Kimi Räikkönen lost a wheel at one of the Grand Prix in the 2027. I can't tell if it was either the Austrian GP or the other way around. And James Head going backwards on the course. I can imagine to you that he's trying to do whatever he can. Oh, and I think he's hit the number 51 of Viper. And I think Viper not particularly happy about that one. Of course, presumably he was on a fast flying lap, but of course that has just not gone his way. There is Bar 27. That is a name we have not seen in the SRS Motorsports League for quite some time. Of course, coming back in the number 27. And he'll be making a run for the title in that golf themed livery. A couple more people. Charlie R in the chat saying go Toki. Of course he is in the, I think he's in the pins. Yep, there is Toki, or Coxie I think it is, Gamer Coxie, just idling in pits for the meanwhile. Sharon Palmer saying could hear Palmer, so definitely going to be making a run for the I think we might be having a bit of issues trying to get the lobby sorted out. We do have another entry, but that is Carbon R, who is trying to make his way into the pit, to the lobby now. Keelan in the pits, Superboy in the pits, Splash also in the pits, but you can't see any of them because they're all behind the pit wall. Yeah, you can get a glimpse of Patrolhead and Gamer Coxie. Ah, it's Charlie R saying, nah, he's Patrolhead. Ah, okay, gotcha. I do see what you mean. Sounds like to me that someone will probably have to leave, presumably one of the reserves. I think that's either Bar or SDM Viper, I imagine, before we get this up, going, and underway. Superboy saying we need a higher chance of STM to win something. Well, I'll tell you what, though. It is the first round of the season, and I think that this series has attracted way more interest than a lot of us were initially expecting to. So it's either going to be Viper or Bar who will have to, of course, leave the lobby. Of course, I know it is Mazda Cup Racing, but it's going to have to come down to, of course, who will probably have to take the week off from motor racing. Of course, can always join me in the commentary booth. Got nothing absolutely wrong about that. James said the world's most expensive lawnmower, just taking it to the track and doing whatever he can to get the get that fastest time. There was James now on to the front start. Now warps to the pits. A lot of cars in pit lane ready to go for qualifying. Is he in the podium thing? Yeah, he's in the podium thing. So I guess we're about to find out who is ready to leave the lobby so that our full-time entrant in Carbon R can make the race lobby. That's one of the tough things about this game, is that unfortunately a lot of these simulators, of course, have now got like 20 and 32 and maybe even a lot more player lobbies. Gran Turismo is still locked at 16 at max, and I do really wish they had bumped it up for this title, but of course hopefully GT7, for as long as Polyphony wants to keep working on it, of course trying to refine and make the real driving simulator the real driving simulator. We'll quite see. Well, it is interesting to note that 9 minutes left on the clock, so we're still trying to figure out who will be the one to leave the lobby. I'm going to see if there's anything of note to mention in the SDM Discord while I got the chance to keep an eye out on that. Potentially Viper could join the lobby or the commentator's booth for this race. Of course, both saying they want to race, but one could race over the other. Could always add Bar 27 into the commentary booth, or SDM Viper, one of the other. Got a lot of these guys in pit lane, only 4 out on track at the moment. Viper making the move to leave the pits, and I imagine he's looking at me with a grim look. We got ourselves a second commentator here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna move. I gotta move my wheel. I gotta move the cables from my VR headset, and I believe that we will have another commentator coming us without too much hassle. He's pulling the chair over now, and this, of course, is gonna make for some very interesting words of voice. He gets the Ford Raptor as his daily vehicle for the day. And Viper, welcome to the commentary box, of course.
It's good to be back behind the well-protected studio, of course. You know, we're doing our part to stay safe, obviously.
This is for the SRS Discord.
But yes, we're taking a selfie.
Yep, we're taking a selfie.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of practice on the track here this weekend. Obviously, I'm a reserve driver. Obviously, more important to get full-time drivers from SDM into the race to get maximize those points. But obviously, it's going to be a tight field. And apparently, I was going to set a new fastest lap of the session, but you know, James,
it do be like that sometimes.
It does
right?
be like that sometimes. I'm gonna say something, but I was like, you know what? I was like, it happens. So anyway,
yeah, we got a lot more people coming out into the racetrack. There is Splash in one of the full-time SDM entries, the number 11 MX5, and those SDM liveries look so good on track. I don't mean to be biased or anything.
Yeah, these liveries were actually designed by Doug Barrow himself, and he made these liveries himself.
That is absolutely...
Even though Doug Barrow does spend a lot of time on the racetrack, he's also spending a lot of time as well in the livery booth, coming up with awesome and new and exciting liveries wherever possible from his imagination. So credit to Doug for Splash, and obviously credit to Splash for putting in the effort for this weekend.
Absolutely, indeed. Of course, those cars striking the white with the predominantly red and black sets of details on the car. There is Gamer Coxie in number 14, the GC, themed livery. I can't see what that says on the side. Maybe it just says Gamer Coxie. Instead of having a proper sponsor, you can just sponsor yourself on the side of the car. How about that?
I'm actually going to turn off my PlayStation.
Go right ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
We get the best absolute commentary as we do. That guy sitting next to me for this race.
Yeah, you're gonna have your Datsun right next to you.
Yep. The car that I spent literally like a year and a half trying to perfect its livery on, basically. Not there yet, but we're getting closer.
We are getting a bit closer indeed to qualifying.
That of course too. I was just going to mention
exactly.
That.
Yes. So what's going to happen here is that,
and I'll tell you
off the top of my head, I think it is going to be a 10-minute qualifying session.
And I'll tell you what, I'll go through a hot lap as well, because I've been doing a lot of practice.
Could definitely do that as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. You kind of have to push the car in some places where you most would not expect it to be, but also at the same time, got to be aware of how far you're pushing, because obviously the penalties, they will come bite you if you're not careful on track limits.
That is exactly right, and we've definitely seen that a couple of times, as I've been noticing before while I was getting the stream up and running here.
Don't be surprised if these guys get into the 59s for qualifying here. It's getting closer to the 59 mark. And Barr has.
I think he's just trying to reconnect to the lobby. I'm pretty sure. So
I'm sure Carbonara has.
Yeah, he's just trying to get back in. I think just trying to make sure Carbon can get into the race. There is in third place Keelan, of course, having the honor to go through a couple of SMM/SDM sort of programs with Keelan, of course, one of the managers for the Cymax crew. He said, you know what? This is some bucket racing. I'll put my time and energy into this race. I'll put my time and effort into this season.
I was actually really looking forward to this race this weekend if it didn't have to come down to the decision to be a full lobby for this this race today.
I'll tell you what. I was seeing 12. I was seeing 14 full-time. And then we get we get a couple of reserves, and then just like that, you get yourself a full lobby. So 15 cars of MX5. You are going to see a lot of moments in these cars.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of.
And these cars, they're designed to race close. Like you can get a bit of an advantage of like a couple of tenths, but enjoy it while it lasts, because these cars can catch up to each other like lickety split, and you're not going to have a lot of time to sit back and relax. And these races, they're 30 minutes, but 30 minutes. In these cars, they don't sound like a lot, but when you've got about, let's say, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars, maybe even the whole grid that are stacked like in a train,
yep,
you're not going to have a lot of time to relax. And the only time you really get to have to relax is the pit straight and then that back straight right there, because it's the short version of the circuit.
And the straight going from turn 1 to turn 2, as we see Carbonara now joining the lobby for the race today with just about 2 minutes left on the clock to qualifying, so he will make it into the session.
Absolutely, indeed. Carbonara, the Australian driver for SDM, of course, joining that team late in 2019 and being a staple of the team ever since. So now we got ourselves a full grid, ladies and gentlemen. 15 cars ready to come to the track, of course, knowing you had to park your car. I swear, if there was a feature in this game that was like, it gave me a dedicated like broadcaster setting like Project Cars has, we'd be having a 16-car grid today.
Oh, absolutely. But even though we sometimes have to sacrifice some of the fastest drivers to get the best commentary quality for our viewership.
Oh, exactly. And I'll tell you what, I've been doing this now for I think what, like, I'm gonna say like 15 to 16 months now. And every single race, it is no different in how commentary can be delivered, of course. As soon as we get straight into qualifying here, of course, you're going to be looking at 1 minute laps. We're still waiting for a sub 1 minute lap time, and whoever is the first to do that has achieved God tier status.
We're getting a
should absolutely fear them for the race.
Looks like Palmer's got some lag.
Yeah, it looks like Splash reporting Palmer with a bit of lag. We'll take a look at Palmer and see what the issue may be.
Yeah.
He's definitely got some lag issues. It looks like it's minor lag.
Shouldn't be too bad unless he's getting closer to car.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking about right there. And Carbon R on the outlap, and there is qualifying. So the 34 of Carbon R taking to the track.
So he is one of the fastest guys
He is very good at hot lapping.
He has been one of the fastest guys during the practice week. So.
Absolutely, indeed, and right. Qualifying now for 10 minutes for round number 1 of the SRS MX5 Sprint Series.
It's like Tyson's going to get a huge lead on these guys coming out of the pit lane.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of clean air, and that's exactly what you need in terms of hot lapping. Of course, now you can draft with these cars.
It is a little bit faster.
It is a little bit faster, but it's just like you got to work
around the dirty air
to your advantage as well. And look at that, Tice. Look at how much clean air a lot of these guys are having.
His fuel. Wants to get as much fuel out of that car as he can.
That is exactly what you want to do with these cars, because weight is such a humongous difference when you got less fuel in the car. Of course, James Head coming on him, lickety split. Oh, he's got to be careful. James Head, I think, actually had to check up really badly.
Yeah, he's going around him now.
Yeah, now. And look at the brake difference balance that James Head is running. -3 to the front. That is absolutely humongous.
That's a completely different brake bias from what I'm
James Head
using in this race.
Really wanting to make sure he gets the most out of turning. Kenki Dot in the chat saying, Hola! Hola, senor! Welcome to the live stream. Of course, you're about to see some banger racing. James Head, immediately with a penalty, has to serve it and has to
puts it in the wall. That's going to have him get just an absolutely terrible first lap here.
Exactly.
But there is time to rebound.
But look at the traffic coming through to turn number 1. Superboy and Barr actually going side by side. This is not the race, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the first lap of qualifying. And there's door slamming.
It's not what you want to see.
Oh, Marcello going a bit wide into turn number 1.
Oh, he almost cuts off.
And these guys are racing each other like it's the first lap of the race. This ain't even the race yet, boys. You got to go through 10 minutes of qualifying. Doug Barrow trying to go up the inside.
Oh, he sent it.
He did send it, which is good. But dang, that was really tense.
This ain't even the race yet. We're getting race like qualifying here.
Absolutely, indeed. So we'll have Tice come through the final corner to set the benchmark for these MX5s. Who's going to be the fastest first time on out?
We're 59-second lap there.
Tice starting us off with a 1 minute 9.66. Hellraiser with a 1 minute 1 to start things off as well. I think Palmer and Splash taking the pole position with a 1 minute 0.6. So that's good for him. A lot of these times coming in now. Razor up into 4th place. Palmer up into 2nd place. Walschweiser up into 5th place. That's a good effort for the Swiss driver in the 21 Mazda. Oh, he's actually put it off a bit wide.
You can get your left side tires up on those sausage curbs, and it really makes the car unstable coming out.
Exactly.
And he's going to wait for all these guys to come on through.
Absolute sportsmanlike driving for the number 21. And look at that, Marcello and Keelan going to tow each other. Yep. So we're going to take a look on board with this with Keelan in the driver's eye.
He's up about 63 thousandths on Splash, hitting through sector 1 and 2 at the moment.
And just like that, everyone is going to come back through once again. Tice leading him off once again for the second lap here. And that's the pole position by 92 thousandths, but I don't imagine that's going to last very long. James Head still up into P4, improves to a 1 minute 7.79. Carbon R to a 1 minute 8.286. Oh! Tice with a big 10 slapper. Lots of times coming in. Patrol Head and Superboy. Patrol Head with a 105. He's not had a good session so far. Keelan up to pole position. So the double tow.
Really making a difference.
Making it work. And just like that, Marcello will swap out and then get the tow. Patrol Head not having a good day so far. And Gamer Coxie as well as Barr all in the bottom. Doug Barrow as well. A big surprise from the number 13. Also having a 197, I apologize. And look at that, top 10 separated by 0.7 of a second. But if you got to go all the way up to, and look at this, Carbon R actually going to take a bit of a gamble here for some fresher tires.
Yeah, fresher tires will absolutely make the difference, even with the little bit of fuel these cars are burning here. It's such a tremendous difference here.
Razor improves to a 1 minute 9.52.
Palmer to a pole position with a 1 minute 2.56.
He had to get the tow from Splash, of course.
Yes, he did.
He absolutely did. So Cymax sitting pretty 1, 2, 3, 5 with Splash breaking it with a run into 4th place. Walschweiser at a 101.054.
The top two are the only two people that have really gotten their fastest laps through draft. Everyone from 3rd down has pretty much set their fastest lap on their own strategic pace. in the qualifying session.
Jeremy in the chat saying, love you, Viper and RRDZ. Thank you, Jeremy, for the love and support in the stream. I have seen you around a couple of the SRS live streams in the past, so thank you for showing the support and watching some banger racing here at the Red Bull Ring.
Oh, Palmer's really trying to push hard there.
He is absolutely trying to push. Splash, unfortunately, I don't think not getting much help in terms of slipstream. He's actually going to let him by. Tice to a 1 minute 386. That's good for him, improving.
Razor to a 1 minute.
Razor breaking up the
minute mark here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Razor doing himself very, very well with a 1 minute 732. Tap 104, 1 minute 946. That puts him in the 9th place. Carbon R down in 8th. He's going to come through once again. Walshweiser now up into 9th place as well. This just comes to show you how crazy and hectic this qualifying session can be.
The top 9 are only separated by just over 6/10 of a second.
Jeremy's saying it's Bowfish Adara in the chat.
Oh, and Walshweiser with a half-second penalty there. That's not going to help him out. He's going to...
Bowfish Adara out in the chat. Welcome. You little I would have not guessed had it been you, considering you're doing a little incognito.
That's brilliant, mate.
Man, Bo, you would have been in this pack, in this mix, had you done.
Someone else is coming to the pits. Let's see.
Who is that going into the pits right now?
That's James
Head. Oh, okay, so this is going to be interesting. Palmer to a 1 minute 194. So these cars are getting radically quicker by the minute, and it's going to be close to see who can make it into the sub 1 minute. Like I said, if you achieve 1 minute status, you are god tier in this league. I'm pretty sure.
If you achieve under a 1 minute time, you are godly. Because I can tell you right now, reaching under a minute of a lap time is extremely difficult with these cars. I mean, my fastest of the week was, I believe, a 1 minute .458. And I just set my second fastest lap of the weekend here today on my second lap practicing for this race today.
We'll go back to Carbon R, who of course did pit for some fresh rubber. Bowfish Adara in the chat saying love is still strong, and guys, thank you so much. Of course, we love to deliver on some excellent commentary.
There's something about us in the commentary.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know what it is.
Razor to a 1 minute 704. Tice to a 1 minute 285. So the Cymax guys have got those monsters absolutely dialed up here in qualifying. 1, 2, 3, and 6th place for Marcello.
There's a lot of moving around and shuffling around.
There is a lot of moving around. Does Carbon R improve? No. 3/10 down. Marcello making it a 1, 2, 3, 4. The top 2 rows locked down by the Cymax crew. And this is absolutely what Cymax have come to do. Keelan just power drifting the car as Patrolhead gets a 5/10 penalty. Will Keelan get a 5/10 penalty? I don't think he will. Splash out in no man's land trying to get as much draft.
I was just that draft. You go back and look at.
Oh, someone's gone wide, and that is UTAP. What's gone wrong with him? He's actually, I think, put it wrong.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness me.
All right.
Superboy in 11th with that 1/10 penalty.
Patrolhead off to the side.
Absolutely.
Keelan,
Gamer, Coxie, and Barr.
Marcello.
1.6 separating the whole field. Tice going faster again. 1 minute 264. So Palmer and Tice. These two are absolutely flying here today.
I know Tice can get a faster lap.
Absolutely. Keelan's going to come into the pits for one final go. Doug Farrell with a 1 minute 009. Carbon R up to 6th place, making STM occupying the 3rd row of the grid.
Looks like Walshweiser, he will improve to 1 minute 8.
So that's going to put him in 9th place, which is good for the Swiss driver. Oh, Carbon R, big slide out of first corner.
That's definitely what he needed right there. He's going to have one more lap after this one.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to have one more lap to do it. Keelan, I think, is just going to make it around for one more go. One more crack on the fresher rubber.
I think Keelan will get around for.
He will get around indeed.
Look at this draft train behind.
So there's Razor at the front of the field. Going to come through for one final lap with Tyson Palmer behind as those two continue their towing shenanigans. Oh, Razor just shy. Tyson improves to a 1 minute 234.
He was in front of Palmer, not behind him, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say Palmer's
going to
lickety split. Duck Barrel with a 1 minute 9. So, of course, trying to get as much help as he can.
Well, this is the last gas for everyone.
It is indeed.
I believe the guy on the backstretch is not going to make it for another lap around.
I agree as well.
Yeah, the last two on the front stretch.
Razor on a better lap this time by. Of course, in these cars, there's not a lot of room you can compromise as the clock does expire. So, final laps for a lot of these guys. Someone's actually coming across the start-finish line now, as a matter of fact, and that's Gamer Coxey. As Barn 27 goes a little bit wide. No improvement for...
7.
No improvement whatsoever.
Oh, Trailhead.
Razor down in 7th. Has he got a bit of speed to work with in that car? Actually, a very good lap.
Yes, it is.
Keep it straight. And does he improve? No. 3/10 down. No improvement for the top two inside Max. Splash coming across the line. No improvement either. Who's that also going to come across the start-finish line? It is Doug Barrow. No improvement as well. And Superboy, no improvement as well. A lot of these guys coming through as well. James Head. No improvement from Carbon R as well. Not a lot of improvements on this last lap. This is absolutely surprising to say the least. As the UTAP, and I believe that is Keelan coming through.
Yeah, he's picked up
Keelan's got a penalty.
He won't improve.
He will not definitely improve, and that will be it. As Palmer takes the first pole position of the season in a very close qualifying session. The whole top 7 just separated by a little over 0.5 of a second, but the top 12 separated by 0.8 of a second.
And look at that.
Man, look at that field. Stacked to the brim right there as side match.
I'm getting a snack because I can't.
Absolutely definitely need the munchies to say the least as well. Right, Palmer and Tice occupying row one of the grid, but Simax absolutely dominating here today with Keelan Marcello on row 4, Splash and Carbon R in row 5, positions 5 and 6. Razor and James Head 7th and 8th, and Walsh Rider, Doug Barrow rounding out the top 10, with Tap, Superboy, and Patrolhead, Gamer Coxey, and Bar rounding out the grid here for today. You can see in your screen the 5 red lights about to come on.
When will the field take the green flag?
When will they take the green flag? It is now, and it is green flag conditions. Going to hop off and then hop back right on real quickly. Forming up into the train, as I like to call it, with these MX5 cars. Choo Choo is the conductor that Palmer is. Look at the field just stacking up.
Everyone just...
And I think Barr is a little bit slow. And so Simax, of course, leading the way. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is absolutely what Simax want to do. This team, who have just recently won the GT World Challenge America by AWS esports title with the Mercedes AMG. Of course, the squad have just become have absolutely come to life, and this is mad stuff right here. K-Dot saying, haven't seen Keelan racing for a long time, so I'm gonna cheer for the man in 3rd place. Keelan, of course, in the 22.
Look at that, splashes all over the back of Marcello.
Splashes all over the back bumper of Marcello. He ain't going to make this easy, to say the least. Quinner in the chat. Welcome to the stream, Quinner. Appreciate you jumping on for a little bit of argy-bargy action here for the MX5s. Of course, 30 minutes on the clock. Ooh, splash. Big moment there.
Why doesn't he fall off?
Does Carbon have a penalty? He does, as a matter of fact, so he's had to slow up significantly for that, as he allows Razor and Doug Barrow from 7th and 8th to close back on up.
Doug Barrow's got a 3/10 second.
James Head down in 9th place. This is not good news for James Head. And a lot of these guys just, at the moment, having a difficult time. Palmer and Tice leading them off.
I think they're just going to work together and try to get away from the field if they can.
Absolutely, indeed.
So that they can decide to win for themselves. And that's what we
this is one of those courses where it's like carrying momentum through the corners is absolutely essential, because if you're slow through one corner and it's like you've got these 2 straights, you're going to have a very difficult time trying to make up all that speed back, because carrying speed in these cars are so important. And you just see they're taking a little bit of a wide line, maximizing the most out of what you can got. Oh, big slide there for Keelan as he picks up a 4/10 penalty. Splash actually losing out a bit of time as well, as he's got Marcello on his rear bumper. A little ways behind is Splash.
Harriers are down the inside Carbon R. 4-7.
Oh my goodness me, and Carbon R with a big moment, losing from 6th to 9th just like that, and Carbon R has got a lot of work to do to come back up. Walshweiser up into 10th place. He wants to get it on this action.
Oh, he's going to send it up down the inside.
He will send it up the inside, and that right there is an easy pass for Walschweiser. Can he complete it? Yes, he will. So it goes from bad to worse for Carbon R as he comes from 6th all the way down to 10th place in less than half a lap.
He's going to have a good run here coming out of the final corner.
It's a little argy-bargy at the back of the field, as you can see on the screen right there.
Back into the front of the field. Keelan still with 3/10 second of a penalty. Tell you what, too far off from these guys, but he's kind of just hanging back there a little bit.
Simac's got to be absolutely crucial. Oh, and was that a bit of contact there from Marcello on Keelan? They've got to be extremely careful. You don't want team cars going off the track, of course.
Absolutely not. So yeah, Simac's nailed their qualifying strategy, and they certainly don't want to ruin their race strategy at the same time here. These guys, they know where they got to work together. They got to be patient with each other. They don't want to botch anything up here, and that'll
you just got to play it patient to your strategy while you got the chance. Splash actually doing a pretty decent run at coming back from that small deficit of 0.8 of a second, of course.
Yeah, he's in that
draft. He's going to lose it a little bit, but
he's in that draft, though, because he is
in that draft, absolutely indeed. So he's got to be extremely careful with what he can do to be able to close up to this leading pack here. Oh, is that little argy-bargy reaction? Of course, I don't think they're going to want to really risk.
Oh, Marcello is really loose coming out of turn 1 there.
Yeah, he's got to be a bit careful. James had actually up in the 6th place, so he's made up a good amount of ground. And of course, James had, of course, this is one of those championships where you only got 6 rounds to make as much points as you can, so losing the points is going to be crucial. But, of course, the finishing grid will be reversed as the starting grid for race 2, so that's going to be exciting to say the least. So,
yes, it will.
When you thought we can get through only 1 round of racing, we got another one to go, ladies and gentlemen. So we're not done just yet after this round. 25 minutes on the clock. We've got another 30-minute race to go for a full 60 minutes of the Red Bull Ring. Short version, that is. Man, Carbon R losing a lot of time in that number 34. 1.1 seconds.
He's pushing too hard.
Really, really hard here.
Pick up all that ground.
Of course, trying to, at the moment, not working to his strength right now. In the 29. Patrolhead and Gamer Coxie. Oh, Patrolhead a bit wide. Gamer Coxie follows him as well. Man, Gamer Coxie actually got a really big run.
Yeah, Patrolhead's
going to serve a bit of that penalty. Yeah,
and he just picked one up while serving.
Yeah, that is just a straight kick to the nuts right there as well.
Oh, Patrolhead tried going back at him.
U-tap in 14th, Bar in 15th. Pop it back up to the front of the field here where it is still Simax.
Oh, Marcello may get a penalty for going wide like that. He went extremely wide.
Well, we'll see what the case. He's actually flashing the lights. I could tell by the light that was going on.
They're
going to be Luna racing here.
Side by side down the front stretch.
They got to be careful, but that doesn't mean they're going to race their heart out for a podium spot.
This is what Splash wants to see right
here. Yep, Keelan's actually doing the wise thing, serving that penalty, but